Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to our daily contemplation. I'm Juna
Sabine.
from Synergy in Motion. So glad you're here today. We are having a wild ride through the 8th hexagram through the eyes of gene keys and human design the last few days. And today is the 6th day, but we'll talk about that in just a moment of what that brings. But yeah, is there...
Just reiterating about why we do this and the sun moves through the whole wheel of the I-Ching and highlights different qualities, just like the zodiac and the astrological signs. Qualities get highlighted, and we're really choosing to follow that flow through the sun,
through the zodiac wheel. So the zodiac, the sun is in the 8th hexagram, and then like the week before it was in the 23rd. So every 5 or 6 days it moves through the wheel counterclockwise. So you can follow it. You can get the I-Ching book. You can follow it around the zodiac wheel, and every day we're not just randomly choosing, we're really following a structure which is different for us, and we're looking at it, we're contemplating it, and we're using it as a springboard to explore and play. So yesterday was all about as if by magic. It is about from the drama into the dharma, and that's a specific energy that was available yesterday where things unfold as if by magic. That was yesterday, and it'd be cool to hear from you guys at some point, how did things flow? And it may not always be in the way that you think it does. So every single day has, it's like the sun shines through a different facet. There's a different quality, and then we riff off on that. And by no means is it complete. It's just us talking about it, playing, and we just invite you into this playful exchange of what's going on in the air, in the sun at this moment in time. So
cool. With that, today we are in the 8th hexagram and the 6th line, which is all about communion. And when you look at the flow through the hexagram, the first line is kind of the basis.
It's the foundation where we really looked at, like, this entire 8th hexagram is all about the individual's contribution to the whole, to the collective. And then on the second line was all about service, and we talked about being in service, which is a kind of a slavery, and being of service, which is the natural gifts of, yes, I want to contribute here.
And from that uniqueness, from your energy signature, not from the image, what you should be, but from who you truly are.
And then we talked about style on day 3, and what can happen when you over-identify with your style. Then you limit a part of yourself and you end up being mediocre. And so we looked at that on day 3. So that was the energy of line 3. And then line 4 is all about when you've been in that individual, finding your signature and your energy signature, and then you go out and meet the world. And it's about like stepping out the front door. We talked about that. What else was there? Again, that imitation, seeing what's out there, it's so cool, and then imitating it, which again leads to the mediocrity. And then yesterday was all about from the drama into dharma, into just surrendering into the flow. And the 5th line, that 5th day that it's all about the flowering of the hexagram. It's the pinnacle where, when we're being our individual gifts and we're interfacing with the collective, there's this projection of this is how it could be when it works really well. Okay, that's the 5th line is about the projection, and it's like, as if by magic. And today we are in the 6th line, and that's really we wanted to play with that today. And again, we're playing with it loosely about just really taking a moment, right? This is really celebrating your individual gifts and acknowledge them. What are your individual gifts, your qualities that you contribute to the world? And just take a moment and really, that's the contemplation today, and where you benefit the collective and where the collective can benefit you.
And really also look into your past of, wow, I have created this. And it's irrelevant whether that is something that didn't work or that really worked. It's, no, this was. It's like looking back and acknowledging that and almost blessing your creation. There's like an attunement in the beginning of everything where you go, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to flow into this project, into whatever you choose to do or be. And then when it comes after the flourishing,
Yes, flowering fruition.
Exactly, that one. There's a moment that you can take and just, oh, okay, that was great. Wow, I really messed that up. Wow, that really worked. Whatever it is.
Wow, that really didn't work.
Yeah.
Right? We just really want to bring into it's always the both sides of contribution. Oh, this worked, this didn't work, with that equanimity as much as possible. Like not getting into the judgment, but yeah, okay, this worked, this didn't work. These are my gifts.
And really blessing all of it.
Yeah.
And with that also acknowledging the flow, like that communion of, wow, you didn't create that all by yourself. There was a whole world that created that with you. And acknowledging that gives a blessing to your creation that allows it to move on. You're not holding on to it. It allows it to have its own life, whatever you created. And you consciously let it go and move on. Right? The sixth line moves already on to the next line, to the first line of the next hexagram. So perceive that energy of, wow, thank you, blessings, and moving on in communion, right? You're flowing with all of creation in your unique energy signature through life, creating, uncreating, exploring, discovering.
And what I love about the word communion, it's where you have, all of the unique, strong individuals contributing. It's not a mush ball of, enmeshment. It's really communion. And, in our relationship, we're two very strong individuals coming together to play, to create, to discover. And we don't give up, any of us, for the other. So this is the beauty of communion, and just acknowledging all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And that's the richness of communion. And then that, at the same time, it's almost the detachment from, oh, I'm so successful because I created all this. There's both, like acknowledging, yes, the gifts and the gratitude, and ready to, what's next. And
letting your creations fly and leave the nest as well, so that you don't have to be the artist that dies and then becomes famous.
A lot of richness in this sixth line in this hexagram. Just incredible.
I mean, to just, again, it's just a little aspect of this whole hexagram. So for today, just be aware when you complete something, when you feel, okay, you cooked a meal, and then you eat the meal, and after the meal you just go for a moment, okay, thank you, that was a beautiful creation, and just let it go, and let that nurturing just nurture your body, and then you move into the next thing that you do.
And I wonder what kind of world it creates when we can really acknowledge that. And in that meal, it's the acknowledging the contribution of the whole, like the farmers and everybody that contributed all the parts and pieces to bring that meal to the table. And then how the food is a contribution or not to your body, learning from that, and then just blessing that whole thing. And gratitude is such a part of communion, really. So
and gratitude is also a beautiful springboard to move into the next, to let it go home, to let everything go. Again, this is, I'm harping a little bit on it, but it is something that we're not used to, is to acknowledge both that which worked and that which didn't work. Right? We're always focusing on either or this one, the not working is not good, and the what works is what we're thriving for. No, what if you could celebrate all of it and let it go and move on?
Yeah, what a gift this hexagram is the contribution. Love it.
I wonder what we will explore tomorrow. The 20th.
Yeah, so the 20th hexagram is coming up tomorrow, that first line, which again we go to the foundation of what that means, and stay tuned and we'll find out more about that tomorrow. Anything else?
No. Just very grateful for you guys to go on this journey with us.
Yes, and very grateful as we, sometimes it feels like we stumble along and it's brand new to us, so we're like, what is this? And during the day we're like, oh, what is this? And how do we talk about it? And so it's really fun, and thank you so much for playing with us.
And letting us bring you our freshness of exploring these hexagrams.
Yes, and I wonder what you come up with as well, because that's also important. What is it for you as you contemplate this energy and these qualities in your life?
And if you wish to share that and play with that, we do have the Synergy in Motion Forum Facebook group where you can just allow yourself in a private space to just share with us what brought that forth.
Yeah. And as always, you can join us tomorrow again at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And with this, remember, you're creating a whole new world today. Communion. Drop that into the pond and let it ripple through your whole system. Bye for now.
Bye.